Well, a couple things happened in the last 24 hours. One, Jimmy Garoppolo is staying in San Francisco as a backup. Two, Lamar Jackson liked a picture of him in a Dolphins uniform. And three, the Vikings just cut Kellen Mond. Turns out a year and a half of running around the field looking like a robot doesn't save you a roster spot. It's definitely football season though. The chaos is starting to begin. I love it! Anyway, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Happy Tuesday! Yesterday, I asked you guys to drop me tier list recommendations, and you did just that, and there was a lot of good ones, and a lot of them that I can do now, probably throughout the next couple weeks. However, as far as today's video goes, I had a recommendation that I should predict every team's upcoming MVP for this season. I like that. Now, I'm gonna do my best to not just say Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, you know, when I get to those teams that are kind of obvious, I'll go ahead and give a couple examples, because there is a sizable amount of people on every team who really could go off this year. Anyway, before we start, we got two things real quick. One, head over to gfuel.com, use code WyattzWorld, save yourself a discount on any G Fuel products. And two, if you are 18 years or older and would like to download the daily fantasy app known as Prize Picks, you can use code WyattzWorld to match up to $100 of your first deposit. Always play responsible, and let's get into every team's MVP. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we are back at the tier list with only one tier, and that is dogs. That just sounds more fun than MVP. But yeah, what you see is what you get here. Every team I drop in here, I'm going to be naming their dogs and moving on to the next. Alright, so starting off, we got the Atlanta Falcons. Terrell, Pitts, or Drake London for me. I do think Drake London is going to be absolutely fantastic, and part of the reason is because I think Pitts is going to occupy defenses so much that Drake London's going to be wide open. My only concern is him getting the ball, and I don't think Desmond Ridder looks like he's ready to play yet, and Marcus Mariota only runs. So if not Drake London or Kyle Pitts, I would say AJ Terrell. Moving on, we got the Panthers. Not CMC, dude. He's gonna get hurt. I'm sorry. If he plays, he'll be the MVP, but he ain't playing the whole year. I really like JC Horn on the defense, but that's just kind of like a young guy who got hurt last year that I have a lot of faith in. If I have to say who is gonna be the best player, I'm gonna say DJ Moore. And I think Baker is gonna have a great year, but DJ Moore is really gonna just blow up to that next level. His numbers have always been elite with trash. Baker is by far the best quarterback he's had. Moving on, we got the Bears. Roquan Smith, dude. I know Justin Fields did look really good in his preseason game, but judging by his offensive line in the first two, and even the third one, really, I just don't think he's gonna have a good year. Up next, we've got the Vegas Raiders. Max Crosby. If it's not gonna be him, it's gonna be Devontae Adams. And I won't say Derek Carr. I mean, I could, but I feel like that'd just be kind of an obvious candidate. Devontae Adams is gonna go there, and I think he's gonna make a huge splash, a huge difference in the offense. Max Crosby, dude, like, you can't ignore him. He is one of the most electric players in the league at the current moment. He's disruptive as all hell. Like, he is a nuisance to play against. He's young too, like only 25. He's only gonna get better. Moving on, we got the Chiefs. Other than Kermit the Frog, I think Juju is going to have an excellent year. And I could say Kelsey too, but that's kind of obvious. Looking at the rest of the receivers there, like, someone's going to have to catch the passes, you know? And Sky Moore does look good, but I don't think he's going to take over this year. Juju's on a one-year deal. They're going to use him. And they do have nice players, and, you know, Justin Reed, Chris Jones, Frank Clark. But, you know, on that team, it's kind of hard to shine as a defensive player. I'm just saying. Moving on, we got the Bengals. Another team where, you know, defensively, you're not going to outshine the offense. Anyway, my pick here would be Joe Burrow, and if it's not Joe Burrow, I would say Joe Mixon or Jamar Chase. Up next, we got the Browns. If Watson wouldn't have gotten suspended, I literally would have said his lawyer, but fortunately, not even Rob Kardashian could have gotten him out of some trouble there. The Browns MVP to me is going to be Myles Garrett, okay? And I could say Nick Chubb, but Kareem Hunt still not being traded and being there, we know it's going to take some heat away from Nick Chubb. He's going to take some carries, some attention. Amari Cooper without Deshaun Watson, I struggle to believe is going to have a fantastic year. And defensively, the only one to compete with Myles would be Denzel Ward. And that's not a knock on John Johnson either. He's a terrific safety, but my pick there overall, Myles Garrett. Moving on, we got Dallas. Honestly, I mean, the no-brainer here is Micah Parsons, but Dak is, I mean, he's going to be a huge part this year. Offensive line isn't going to be giving him as much time, and he doesn't have nearly as good of weapons as he had last year with the addition of Amari Cooper. Dak is either going to be really good or really bad. I'll play it safe here and say Micah Parsons is the MVP of the team overall. Moving on to Denver, I am actually just going to say the quarterback here, Russell Wilson, because he's never, ever received a vote as an MVP. Isn't that ridiculous? This year, I think the Broncos are going to be substantially better, specifically because of him, because the only thing they were missing is a quarterback, and Russell Wilson's like a top 5 quarterback. Him going there and bringing that team out of the trenches that they've been sitting in should be enough for anybody to look at him and say, you know what, he might actually be the most valuable player in the league for once. Moving on, we got the Lions. Aiden Hutchinson, and if it's not him, DeAndre Swift. I do believe DeAndre Swift is going to have an Eckler-style year. He wants to get 1,000 rushing and 1,000 receiving. That might be a bit much, but I don't think he'll come far from it. Aiden Hutchinson, on the other hand, you can already tell by watching his preseason, that guy is going to be a fucking problem. Up next, we got Green Bay. I mean, they've had the legit MVP back-to-back years. They've had him 4 times, matter of fact, total. If it can't be Aaron Rodgers, I will say Jair Alexander, because I do believe he is one of the best cornerbacks in the league. He just missed a lot of time last year, so a lot of people are overseeing him. Following Green Bay, we've got the Texans. Dindley's going to be a beast. Dameon Pierce is going to be a beast. Davis Mills, I think, can be really good. Obviously, they still have Brandon Cooks. They extended him. And it really is a gamble because a lot of these guys are so damn young. Didn't they also get both Jerry Hughes and Mario Addison from Buffalo? I'm going to say them. I'm just kidding. I'm going to say Dameon Pierce, honestly. I feel like he's going to be a dog. Moving on, we got Jacksonville. I'm going to go out of the park on this one. You ready? ETN. Not Josh Allen, not Trevor Lawrence, not any of the C- receivers they got, not any of the D+ tight ends they got. ETN, because that guy is going to be like Joe Mixon. He is going to do it all. Moving on, we got the Vikings. Defensively, if Danielle Hunter plays all year, he could be that guy finally. But much like the Chiefs and the Bengals, with the Vikings, it's hard to outshine the offense. And I'm going to go with a pretty obvious one here. I'm going to say Jefferson. I think he is going to be the best receiver in the league after this season. In a lot of people's heads, kind of mine already, he's there. This year is about solidification. Moving on, we got the Rams. Always and forever will be Aaron Donald. And I know I've been saying it's hard to outshine offenses like the Vikings, Rams, Bengals, and Chiefs, but Aaron Donald does. Like, it's Aaron fucking Donald. It takes an entire offensive line to hold him back. Like, there's not a plan in this world that works effectively on that man. Moving on, we got the Chargers, and this one's stupid. I'm gonna say like 8 people because you can. Herbert, Eckler, Keenan, Mike Williams, Derwin, Joey Bosa, JC Jackson, Khalil Mack. Oh, Rashawn Slater on the offensive line. I don't fucking know. Flip a goddamn coin. Up next, we got the Colts. I would like to point out Michael Pittman is going to have an electric year, and DeForest Buckner is fucking amazing. But as far as those 2 comments go, Jonathan Taylor or Shaquille Leonard will win the MVP of that team this year because they're both top 3 in their respective positions, and nobody's gonna outwork them on that team unless they get hurt. Up next, we got the Dolphins. I'm gonna be a little bit weird here. If he's not injured, Jalen Waddle. I think Tyreek is gonna distract the secondary a lot, and that's gonna allow Jalen Waddle to get open more on the cross and slant routes, which is closer to Tua and more manageable for him. I'm not saying Jalen Waddle is a better receiver than Tyreek right now. I'm just saying in the scheme, I think Jalen Waddle is going to have a better year. Moving on, we got the Patriots. I'm gonna say Mac. I feel like their running backs are gonna split. They like Stevenson a lot, and if they're gonna generate consistent points, I feel like Mac is gonna be the most consistent one putting them up. Receiver-wise, I don't trust anybody there. Devontae Parker looks good, but it's a Patriots receiver. Moving on, we got the Saints. Alvin Kamara. Michael Thomas already has a hamstring injury again. I feel like he's just gonna get hurt right away. Kamara, I don't think is in any legal trouble this season. Apparently something happened in the offseason, but that's all gonna be happening next year. So as long as he's there for all 17 games, catching and running, he's gonna be the same monster he always has been. Next team we got is the Giants. Fuck. Realistically, I know I bash him, but right now, offensively, I would say Saquon Barkley. If he goes back to his rookie season form, he's going to be better than anybody they've had in the last 3 years. Defensively, I think Kayvon Thibodeau is going to be an absolute wrecking ball. Up next, we got the Jets. Sauce Gardner. Plain and simple, man. He's going to be a problem. He's going to be like Darrelle Revis there. He didn't even get targeted in preseason, dude. Moving on, we got the Eagles. Jalen Hurts. I'll say a quarterback there because he hasn't proven himself to some people. He is going to have a tremendous year. That's my call. I think A.J. Brown will have a good year because I think he's going to kind of be a Debo doing a little bit of both there. But that's not even confirmed. That's just speculation. I'm rolling with Jalen. Next team we got Steelers. TJ Watt, but I don't know if he just got hurt. I mean, if he comes back to play at any time, he will be their MVP. But I really don't know if it's just a bruise or if it actually is like a tear. If I didn't want to say TJ Watt, I would probably say Najee Harris this year. I just think their quarterback situation, even though Kenny looks good, is going to be all over the place. I think Najee's going to be very consistent. Moving on, we got Seattle. I've dreaded saying this one because I have no idea. I'm going to say DK, I think, because Geno and DK linked up, and as of now, Geno is the starter. But they lost Bobby Wagner, and I don't think Quandre is going to win MVP of the team. I'd say DK Metcalf, just solely off of what they did last year together, is my answer. Not gonna lie, I just took a huge dump, and I can't remember if I finished talking about Seattle or not. Anyway, San Francisco, MVP of the year, Trey Lance. It's not him, it's gonna be Debo because it's Debo and he does does everything, but Trey Lance, I think this is his year. And shout out to the rest of the great players on the team that I just didn't mention. You know, Fred Warner, Nick Bosa, Trent Williams. They're all great. Moving on, we got the Buccaneers. Tom, the #1 player in the league still. The one who I'm pretty sure just got plastic surgery. I mean, as long as he's there, he's going to be the best person on that team. Moving on, we got the Ravens. This one could be a handful of people. Their healthy-ass defense is back, and it's loaded as always. Marlon Humphreys, Marcus Peters, Chuck Clark, Patrick Queen, Calais. I mean, it goes on. But, however, if Lamar is playing there, he's going to be the most valuable player on that team. And if I couldn't say Lamar, and I don't want to be cliche and say Andrews, I do think Rashad Bateman is going to be him. Moving on, we got the Cardinals, and I could say Kyler, and I probably will say him overall, but Hollywood has a chance to really solidify himself as a great player in the league. He's got the #1 spotlight for the first 6 weeks, and once D-Hop comes back, it's not like people are just going to remain looking at Hollywood. Their attention is going to focus on D-Hop, potentially giving Hollywood even more action. Up next, we got the Titans, Derrick Henry. If it's not Derrick Henry, Robert Woods, because he's the only receiver there besides Burks, who I think just got hurt. I would like to shout out Kevin Byard, but if Derrick Henry doesn't get hurt, man, he is going to be the heart and soul of that team, and he always will be. Moving on, we got the Bills. It's an obvious one in Josh Allen. However, I am going to give a #2 runner-up. Defensively, I think Greg Rousseau is going to be a problem this year. I think Von Miller is actually turning him into a literal fiend. And ending, we got Washington. And I would say Chase Young, but no. I could say Carson Wentz, but absolutely not. I think it's kind of one man here. If their running backs weren't a committee, I might say one of them, but Terry. And I do think Dotson will be good, but Terry is just Mr. Consistent. He's Mr. Reliable. He is Mr. Dog himself. And there you guys have it for me predicting every team's upcoming MVP. And that is also where we are going to end the video. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, you know what to do to show support. Comment, like, subscribe, turn that bell on. I do my best to post every single day. As far as the ending here goes, you guys know the drill. I'm going to hop off and get this edited so you guys can watch it on time. I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your Tuesday. You have a fantastic rest of your weekend. As always, I will see you in the next video.